the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
Ejebo, eja enya ababidu ene na Finance Minister Dr. Kesel Atoforsen ekokopie mu ewo mrashe bedwafie a ono etimi eko present 2025 budget ewo mrashe bedwafie since John Dramani Mahama ebabe president na ekamye se Dr. Kesel Atoforsen Nsem-Pii oho a okekan a ebredu se o se minority nso etimi eche Ghana for nokre a ewom na se utie budget ni pa Dr. Kesel Atoforsen se one ebeyi VAT etimi e de free motor insurance so na eno na minority say na motor insurance a mo kan wa asem VAT be na da so a Dr. Kesel Atoforsen ni abere se yebeyi motor insurance VAT a eda so afri so o se won eboa bibia no a ye frɛ ne sa na NDC amanyuko na Ay3de won ade yenko tie minority ne nsɛm a otimi eka edefa 2025 budget na.
In terms of transport fares, in terms of petroleum product prices, in terms of energy bills. But even when we come to taxes, the minister announced that they are abolishing VAT on motor insurance. Ladies and gentlemen, we were already not collecting VAT on motor insurance. VAT on motor insurance was exempted. Rather, the minister was trying to be smart. They have reintroduced VAT on non-life insurance, with the exception of the motor vehicle insurance. So all other insurance, given that the penetration of the insurance industry is just 1.1%, we are so shocked that the minister will reintroduce VAT on non-life insurance, except motor vehicle insurance. So let us not rejoice over the removal of these taxes, which we expected. What we did not expect was the reintroduction of VAT on insurance. They've also increased the growth and sustainability levy from 1% to 3% for the mining sector and extended the sunset period from 2025 to 2028. When you heard the minister talking about growth, he said that the growth was influenced by the extractives.
That's a lie.
And so, how can you tax a sector which is giving you growth? The sector that is giving you growth is the sector you want to go and tax. This is not good for industry. This is not good for economic growth. And this is not good for the development of our people. Ladies and gentlemen, betting tax that they said they have abolished. We never collected betting tax. We never implement the betting tax. So to come and tell Ghanaians that you have abolished something that was not implemented is to deceive the people of Ghana. My brothers and sisters, they are talking also about gold board. It's important I address this. The gold board, as you heard the minister talk about, is to be financed from the budget. The minister is allocating $279 million to the gold board. We have never funded the gold purchase program or gold for oil program from the budget.
Never ever.
It's never happened. And so to fund the gold board from the budget, in our view, is just to put in money to be benefited by NDC cronies. It is to create loot and share. The Bank of Ghana was funding the gold for purchase program from a revolving fund, and therefore it did not affect the taxpayer. Now you have a gold board which is going to rely on the taxpayer. We think that this is create loot and share, and we will resist it. Let me also say that the women banking that they said they were going to set up, they have allocated a paltry sum of 50 million Ghana cedis. 51 million Ghana cedis. 51 million Ghana cedis. And the capital requirement is 400 million for banks to be set up. So what are you telling Ghanaian women? Even when you have your vice president being the first woman to occupy that position, we are throwing dust in the eyes of the Ghanaian people, particularly our women who really need all the support we can provide to them. Let me add also on free senior high school program. Free senior high school program is so important for Ghanaians. The NDC, as the minister said, indicated that there is no dedicated funding for free senior high school. That is not true. That is not true. The free senior high school program is funded from the goods and services component of ABFA. That is how we have funded free senior high school. Now he is deciding to uncap GET fund with the view to using the uncapped amount to fund free senior high school. But GET fund is for infrastructure. GET fund is used for infrastructure. Free senior high school is mostly about goods and services. And this is why we applied the goods and services component of the ABFA to fund free senior high school program. Very soon, Ghanaians will see whether they can provide sustainable funding for free senior high school. These are all attempts to come back and tell Ghanaians that it's difficult to fund free senior high school, and therefore parents should pay. That is what they are trying to do. But we will expose them anytime they try to do this. Also, the Agenda 11 projects, we had a dedicated funding source for it. We were funding it with the CAPEX component of ABFA allocated to GIF. The minister is taking that money from GIF. He has indicated that GIF will no longer have that money, which means that there will not be any dedicated funding for Agenda 11 projects, and which means that the president does not intend to complete these projects, which are needed badly by our people in all the districts across the country. They are also talking about allocating some money for nurse allowance and teacher allowance. We thought he would have commended the NPP government. After they abolished nurse allowance and teacher allowance, we brought it in. They are continuing with it, and they are allocating money towards it, and they want to take credit for this. This cannot happen. If you recall, the Minister for Education said teacher training allowance was no longer going to be viable. But the Ghanaian people, led by we, the mighty minority, we opposed them, we chastised them, we condemned that attempt to end teacher trainee allowance. And this is why they have chickened out. And instead of admitting to the Ghanaian people that they've gotten some sense from the mighty minority, they want to take credit for that. I thank you very much, but I want to assure you that this is just preliminary response. Tomorrow, we have a major press conference to give a comprehensive response. It is not going to be for girls, it's going to be for all Ghanaians, all the Ghanaian people. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We've heard the former finance minister.
This afternoon, we have been presented with part 2 of the lamentation series. The part 1, Mr. Speaker, the part 1 was Mahamanomics. The part 2 is Forcenomics. And it's very clear, Mr. Speaker, that under the economy that they complain about, the growth was 5.7%. And under the research economy, the growth is rather going down. You are projecting a 4-point-something growth. That is what you are doing. Mr. Speaker, the that they complain about left us with 4 months of import cover, and they are projecting under reset 3 months. Mr. Speaker, these are the very people who managed the economy up to 2016 and left us with some IPP debts. Today, they are telling us that they are coming to renegotiate the very disaster they left us. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Minority Leader, Honorable Minority
Mr. Speaker, we are not debating today. We are giving an indication.
Honorable Minority Leader, please be guided by Order 91.
Mr. Speaker, exactly so. Very, very guided by that. Mr. Speaker, I may read Order 91.
Your statement was that you are not debating today.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, we are not making comment on it. We are not going to make comment today. 91, Mr. Speaker, when he makes a statement, we are supposed to comment on it.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm saying that we are not going to engineer the comment today. Because, Mr. Speaker, they are not ready. We are ready, but we think they are not ready. I'm only going to give an indication. Mr. Speaker, let the minority leader enjoy his bona fides for this minute. Just relax, Mr. Speaker.
I only want to draw your attention to the fact that you can only make comments.
Very well.
And the comments, not more than 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, in commenting on this statement by the Finance Minister, it is clear to all of us in this chamber that today they decided to populate this chamber members only to come.
Honorable Minority Leader.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker.
The Minister for Finance did not talk about the population of the chamber. So that is not part of the statement of the Minister. Please.
Mr. Speaker, I noticed that when the Finance Minister came to present his statement, for the first time after the inauguration, the swearing in, the majority side was heavily populated. Mr. Speaker, that notwithstanding, Mr. Speaker, we have witnessed what we can best describe as an Azan budget. Mr. Speaker, they are all much talked about for 24-hour economy. The president came here, they said it was all ready. The finance minister comes here, and again, the 24-hour economy policy is not included in his budget statement. Mr. Speaker, this 24-hour economy policy, the minister tells us the policy will be brought later. Hey, Ato, the policy will be brought later. Mr. Speaker, you didn't know, you didn't say anything against his application on the rules. Mr. Speaker, as the minister is here, in which form are we going to listen to him? What is he going to make a statement, or he is going to move a motion? Mr. Speaker, this house is being invited to determine this matter. You see, the Supreme Court has had an occasion to give a contextual interpretation where may is placed to mean shall. Yes, it is there. No, come on, Mr. Speaker, even that argument aside, put that argument aside. There's no need for any interpretation of whether may should be shall. The point is that the law provides that we should determine the form. The law says we should determine the form. In this house, there are ways to come here. You come to make a statement, you come to move a motion. What is the minister coming to do? It's for this house to determine. Is he going to move a motion in accordance with Article 179? Or he's coming to make a statement? And when he makes a statement, what happens? Is it going to be left with a chairman of a finance committee to now move that this house should debate the statement? Mr. Speaker, this is a solid application and he should be applauded for what he's done. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
We want to rule on this matter. I've heard enough. I think in terms of procedure, the order you quoted clearly states the statement of the estimates of revenue and expenditure of the government. It says what? The statement. And so what they are bringing to us is a statement. And when statements are admitted, they are presented as statements. Now, when you go to 1952, which you refer to, it says the budget statement and economic policy of the government shall be presented to the House by the minister responsible for finance on behalf of or on the authority of the president. That's first. Second, and in a form the House may determine. Honorable Minority Leader, you are not in a shouting battle. Please. This is the House. The only way the House can determine however you define form is when the statement is presented to you. The House cannot determine this matter outside the House. You can only determine it when you are truly sitting as a House. And this is the House. He's presenting the statement. If you decide that you want a form, you define form in any different manner as you are doing, then this is the time when it is presented, you take this opportunity to determine that form you want, different from the earlier forms that we've decided and been practicing. If this is what you want to do, please, the statement must first be presented to you. It has to be presented to the House. And if you may, you determine the form you want it to be presented. That